a conversation we've had many times now, the Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones fight. It's a bit different now, right? Because Jon's been tweeting a lot about the fact that he's told you his plans, he's ready to vacate the belt, and all the rest of it.
He said he's ready to vacate the belt?
He said he doesn't care if you strip him, he would vacate it.
Crazy. Yeah, I've been busy. I haven't been keeping up with the gossip. He comes back. He's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in Thailand. So he's home. We'll be home tonight, Tuesday. We'll figure this out.
But if he doesn't fight Tom Aspinall and he does walk away, do you think he's ducked him?
Tom Aspinall's the guy. He's the guy. Listen, if the guy wants to retire and doesn't want to fight, nothing you do. I didn't want Habib to retire. I thought DC should have stayed in it longer. So it's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. If he's talking that crazy, I didn't realize that.
To clarify, you said that Jon agreed to fight Tom, yes?
Jon agreed to fight Tom?
Is that what you just said there? Before, like on the last answer, you said
Jon agreed to fight Tom, yes.
So he hasn't signed a contract.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys have heard me for the last however long. I said, I guarantee you this fight's going to happen. This fight's going to happen. Fight's going to happen. You guys told me the crazy shit that was going on Instagram and all these other places. But yes, I've been saying Jon is going to fight Tom.
So there's some rumors out there that you guys had offered him his money and he turned it down.
Unless you hear it come from here or we put out a press release, don't believe any of this bullshit. But yes, Jon agreed to fight Tom. Fact.
Dana White has finally spoken out, and it's clear he's not particularly pleased with Jon Jones's recent online behavior. From vague posts to finger-pointing, and now publicly discussing a potential fight with Francis Ngannou, the UFC president didn't seem too happy. During a recent interview, Dana was asked about Jon's frequent social media activity, his comments on Ngannou, and the broader drama unfolding in the heavyweight division. His reaction? It pretty much said everything without needing many words.
It was kind of crazy how much interest Jon showed in the Francis Ngannou fight. Like, there was some tweets going back and forth. What would happen if he came to you and says, like, I'll fight, but I won't fight Aspinall, I would fight Ngannou? Would you even be interested in that or no?
I don't have Ngannou on her contract, and Aspinall's the guy.
Right. If you were put in the position, would you maybe try to get Ngannou back in their contract or no?
Probably.
While Dana White didn't outright criticize Jon Jones by name, the tension was obvious. You could sense his growing frustration, particularly with Jones suggesting that the UFC is to blame for his absence from the octagon and that everything is supposedly going according to plan. The strange part? Even Dana seems to be out of the loop. Jon continues to tell fans he's simply following the UFC's lead and that the situation is beyond his control.
Saying that he's ducking Tom Aspinall and stuff like that. He said, I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans are. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. Honestly, I believe it's in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. And then he goes on to say, I've just been playing the role of the company man by doing nothing at all and holding all the position. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off of Tom being the interim champ than Tom has himself. It sucks to see the rest of the division get slowed down like this, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't pull the strings. Well, it does have everything to do with you, Jon. You are the champion and you're the guy that should fight, that should defend or vacate. Now don't worry, we're not going to go through all ground there and give you all the same points. But he continued tweeting. He was talking about Tom, saying Tom's basically not that special because he's got 3 losses on his record, 2 of which were before the UFC. And to be fair, that's a fair point, right? Not everyone goes through a career in mixed martial arts where they just dominate everybody. And that is what Jon Jones has done, apart from maybe, say, Dominic Reyes, his last fight at 205. Okay, a lot of people thought he lost, maybe against Thiago Santos as well. But still, he was getting a little bit tired and a little bit complacent at light heavyweight. No, not everyone can do that. But just because you lose 2 fights early in your career doesn't mean that you can't learn, improve, get better.
Dana White, on the other hand, seems to have a very different take. He doesn't appear to know what Jon Jones is aiming for next, and is clearly not sold on the idea of a fight with Ngannou being the right move. More importantly, he isn't exactly supporting Jon's reasons for putting off a potential clash with Tom Aspinall. The gap between what Jon is saying and what Dana is presenting has never seemed wider. Jones keeps pushing the narrative that he wants a bigger, more meaningful fight, while also blaming the UFC for the lack of updates and lashing out at fans who accuse him of avoiding tough opponents.
I see quite a few people in here calling me a duck. I'm a duck. Call me a duck. Call me a chicken. Call me a goat. Call me a dog. I'm not in high school anymore, guys. A grown man out here chasing his dreams. It's funny that we really live in a world where being called a duck should affect me. Guys, come on.
I got people in the chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm living my absolute best life. I don't know if it's considered duck when you're living good. I don't think it works like that.
At the same time, Dana White is behaving as if none of these conversations ever happened behind closed doors. That's left fans questioning who's really being honest here. On one hand, Dana shows no signs of wanting to bring Francis Ngannou back to make that fight a reality. On the other, Jon Jones is hyping it up like it's already in motion, as if a deal is just around the corner.
So maybe Jon's not going to come back. Maybe the announcement that Tom's talking about is Jon Jones stepping away, Ciryl Gane stepping in, Tom versus Ciryl for the undisputed belt. Because right now in the heavyweight division, I can't think of anyone else more deserving. Yeah, okay, Volkov, he might have something to say about that.
This is #1 bullshit.
But in terms of a fan favorite kind of mouth-watering matchup, Ciryl Gane, Tom Aspinall, two gigantic guys, two big dudes, two agile guys, two very, very quick guys. That's a good one. That's a matchup that I would like to see.
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. You know, it's just like his fans have been so annoying. And obviously you don't get this far in a career being affected by fans or whatnot. But he's just an asshole, you know, with his, you know, he's 30, so he's from this influencer generation where you hop online and the t-shirt sales and all that. I'm past that type of stuff. I'm like, bro, if you had a little bit more respect, then maybe we could have worked something out, you know, but I just don't even want to do business with him. You know, at the end of the day, this is a business, and fighting me gives him an opportunity to change his life forever. And I don't even want to give him the opportunity. Like he just played his cards wrong with me personally, and you know, I'm 3 years from being a 40-year-old grown man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the press conference, going through the whole shebang with him. I'd rather not do. Pajeda on the other side, respectful, cool, barely says much. It's like I'll do business with you. I would risk it all with a human being like you. You actually have the accolades to back up your shit. This other guy is just a big mouth who's hot today. There's been so many guys who's hot today who are just gone. You know, Sergey was in the same position not too long ago. Now he's starting to fall off already. I've just been around this sport too long to give a big mouth who's hot today the opportunity.
It's not about you, Jon. It's not about you. It's not about your life. It's not about your story. If you want to enjoy your life, if you want to be a part of a reality show, if you want to take that money and delay things and hold someone else's dreams back from becoming a reality, that is ducking. That is ducking, because there is a time-honored tradition in this business, in the sport, in combat sports, in fight sports, in sports period, that the whole thing has to move along. It's not about your story. Your story is great and you're living your best life, great. Get rid of that belt. If you want to do that, great. No one will begrudge you. Everyone thinks you've done enough. You've earned enough. You've proven enough. Now allow someone else to have that same story. Allow someone else to write that same story. You are holding him back. You are holding back not only Tom Aspinall, but the rest of the division. So yes, you're missing the point. This isn't about you. It's about the belt. How many more times does Tom have to say he would love to fight him? He would love to be he would love to have the opportunity to be that guy. He would love it. Who wouldn't? But he just wants that belt. He wants whatever that belt signifies, whatever it symbolizes, and what it brings. It brings all the things that Jon Jones is enjoying right now, because if Jon Jones wasn't the most decorated champion, wasn't the greatest light heavyweight champion, wasn't the 2-division champion, he wouldn't be doing things like this. He wouldn't get opportunities like this. He wouldn't get the opportunity to live his best life. And now you are stopping someone else from living their best life. Do you get the difference? It's not about you. And so when the legends fought you, and I'm not even talking about when you were champ or tried to become champ, I'm talking about the dudes that fought you on the way up.
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall continues to drop hints that something might be brewing. But with Dana offering no official confirmation, the whole situation has spiraled into a whirlwind of mixed messages, vague interviews, and cryptic posts on social media. And in the middle of all the noise, Aspinall, the current interim champ, is still waiting with no clear answers in sight.
This is the only sport in the world you can have somebody hold your career back.
Yep. I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything. Just be ready, and we'll just let you know.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of difficult, like mentally, to.
Oh yeah.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and I'm trying my best. I'm trying. It's tough. As you said a minute ago, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes apart from me.
Exactly. You're in the office cooking.
I train all the time anyway. Just because I'm not going to fight doesn't mean I don't train. Like, I honestly can see Jon's point of view. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title, that's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matter. So
you're like, let me do my thing. Let me fight.
I just want to fight.
And I think that's the respectful way to go about it. It's like, you don't care if it's Jon, and it's no disrespect to Jon, it's no disrespect to anybody out there. You're just trying to fight. Yep. I just want to fight. Yep.
One thing hasn't changed through all the back and forth. Tom Aspinall is ready to go. He earned his belt. He stopped Sergey Pavlovich in dominant fashion. He's unbeaten at the highest level. And yet, he's still stuck on the sidelines, just waiting for the UFC.
There's nowhere to go for Johnny. He either has to fight me or retire now. If he does retire, everyone knows that he will have been avoiding me. I want to fight. Absolutely, I want to fight. If that's against Jon Jones or not, I'm just waiting on a date, man. Dana White's come out this week and said that Jon Jones is happy to do it. I've been in the rooms with the UFC and they've told me it's happening. I'm not chasing Jon Jones. The reason I want to fight Jon Jones is because he's got the belt. #1 heavyweight walking around the planet Earth. But we need to find out who the guy is. If it's not Jon Jones, get out of the way. I'll fight someone else. Happy days.
The UFC is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of. That is unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blades, it went down as a loss. I got injured. The worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blades because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blades, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. Something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold-out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. Doesn't matter on the opponent, undisputed, mate.
Stupid. But I have no idea the reason why the UFC don't really want Tom to fight anybody else other than Jon Jones. And, you know, they're saying, stay tuned. That's the message they wanted Tom to give out to people. And we had the meeting with Hunter. And they're going to try and fix the fight with Jon Jones. But we're still in April now. Still waiting for this guy to say, I'll have a fight or I'll not have a fight. And I don't really understand that. He's a fighter who should be having fights. Why is he just still sat around not giving an answer as to whether he's going to fight or not? Tom's done all he can do. You know, he's fought in the middle of the night to defend an interim. He fought for an interim because the fight was on for him to do an interim and he couldn't turn it down. And he won that. What else can he do?
Instead, Aspinall is left on the sidelines, watching as Jon Jones fires off tweets about Francis Ngannou, hints at retirement, shifts blame onto the UFC, and avoids giving any clear answers about when he'll finally return to defend his title. And at this point, the MMA world is losing patience. This isn't just about Jon's legacy anymore. It's about one fighter stalling an entire division.
he's elite as a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights, they're good, they're very strong, they're powerful, but they're not as quick and as agile and as technical as Tom. Tom's the whole package. You know, there's a fighter called George St. Pierre, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. Tom's like a heavyweight George St. Pierre. He's got no weak areas. He's got absolute knockout power, super disciplined, super agile on the feet. He finishes everyone really, really quickly. However, he hasn't gone up against somebody like Jon Jones because, as I said, the competition in the heavyweight division isn't necessarily there on a technical level. Jon Jones is. And Jon Jones has fought way better competition than Tom. That's just a fact. But Jon's never fought anyone like Tom either. Jon has never fought anyone the size of Tom, and that can generate that kind of power. He had 2 heavyweight fights, one against Cyril Garner, who took him down really quick and he choked him out. And then he went up against Stipe Miocic. He was really good, and you know, he had a good little go. But he was 42 and he hadn't fought for a while, and he's getting on. Tom's 31, in the prime of his life. And I would be very surprised, and this sounds disrespectful, but I'd be very surprised if he got out the first round.
An idea. He was the one who delayed and delayed and delayed till Francis was out the fucking door. He could have fought Francis a long time ago. If he'd just taken the chance of going up the heavyweight earlier, we could have had him versus a prime Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez was 240. Jon Jones is 260, 265. And you're telling me Cain Velasquez was too big for him? What a load of shit. Stipe Miocic could have fought him in his prime, another one who was no bigger than Jon Jones. So when he's giving it the big and being like, oh, well, people always think someone's going to come and dethrone me. And yeah, I get the narrative. That was the way at light heavyweight. There was always that next guy coming up. But you ain't never fought an animal like Tom Aspinall, who is as quick on his feet, who has the speed that he does at 260 pounds, who has the heavy hands that he does. You have never been in there with a beast like that. It's just not happened. I'm not saying that means Aspinall wins, but for people to do the Tyson Fury thing of going, oh, well, he's always won, so therefore he always will win.
When you're an interim champion, they only make an interim champion when the champion cannot defend the belt. So for Jon Jones, he couldn't defend the belt because he tore his pec muscle. So the interim champion means he should be fighting the champion right off the bat. That's not the case with Jon Jones, right? Because Jon Jones is going to fight Stipe Miocic. So the interim champion is supposed to sit there and wait. But by law, in like the regulations, once Jon Jones steps in the cage, he is stripped of his interim champion because the champion has returned. There is no longer for an interim champion. What is the point of having an interim champion when the champion is ready to fight?
Fighters are stuck in limbo, key matchups are on hold, and fans are watching what could have been the most thrilling era in heavyweight history slowly fade away. All because no one's giving clear answers. Some argue that Jon Jones is simply playing it smart, preserving his body, waiting for the perfect opportunity, and avoiding a high-risk clash with a dangerous new contender like Aspinall.
I'll take it, do you know what I mean? And it's a great time for me because he is slowing down a little bit, and I've not even reached my prime yet.
Others believe Jon is outright avoiding the one opponent who could truly challenge, or even expose, him. Because make no mistake, stylistically, Tom Aspinall might be the most dangerous matchup Jon Jones has faced in over a decade. With his speed, timing, and pinpoint accuracy, Aspinall presents a nightmare scenario for any aging champion.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who just won the interim title. He's phenomenal, and he is again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
Jon was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's
lucky.
a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on
well.
him. Unless Jon avoided him, unless Jon used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, You know what that's all about.
Correct. It's called the Shop Shutdown.
The Shop Shutdown.
I saw a 7-part
They did with
series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight, which is just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak out.
Very fast. Very fast for a heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah,
And-
we felt the same way about Cyril Gane.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but
Cyril
Cyril
Gane
Gane
is-
doesn't have wrestling. Doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground.
Black belt.
Very legit on the ground.
So legit that
dad-
his dad owned jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him.
Right.
He looks so
Right.
fast. He looks.
Right.
You're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger
Right.
Kane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
It's a bit of a problem for him, right? Because he has not been tested in that way.
But no matter what side you take, one thing is clear. The timelines, the narratives, and the statements from every corner just don't line up. Jon says one thing, Dana says something else, and Tom insists is ready. Yet, somehow, the fight still isn't happening. Now, the entire MMA world is watching. Will Jon Jones step up to defend his title? Or will he walk away and let the division fall apart?
Could we expect one more rodeo?
I don't know what life holds as far as fighting and competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that. There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC. I do view myself as more than a fighter. And so right now, I'm just focusing on love, happiness, kindness. We're in the quarter century mark. So this year, I'm saying yes to more opportunities, focusing on family, focusing on me, my aura.
Do you still love the
Good.
game?
Do I love the game? I'll always love MMA. Somehow, the universe made me one of the best at it, so I'll always love it.
Do you feel any anxiety when you walk to the octagon anymore?
My last 2 fights, I felt really, really amazing. I looked around and I thought to myself, Jon, you're the youngest champion in UFC history, meaning you've been in this predicament more than anybody else in the history of the sport. I've fought the #1 contender my whole career. So
Will the UFC step up and make the fight happen? Or continue shielding their prize star? And most importantly, will Tom Aspinall finally get the title shot is clearly earned? Time is running out, the fans are demanding answers, and the tension keeps building.